Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, January 11, 2013. Well, in a move that couldn't be done in the United States at this time, the newly elected Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, was able to implement a stimulus spending plan in Japan this morning of about $116 billion US to kickstart the long moribund Japanese economy. Under the plan, the government will spend the entire amount on public works and disaster mitigation projects and subsidies for companies that invest in new technology. The Prime Minister hopes to create 600,000 new jobs. Japanese stocks reacted sharply Friday morning, with exporters rallying on a corresponding hard drop in the yen, which had increased in value, killing Japanese exports. As predicted, the Federal Aviation Administration announced that it's undertaking a review of the critical systems of Boeing 787 Dreamliner. The review will include the design, manufacture, and assembly of those electronic systems that had seemed to be causing some problems. A Boeing official said that the company is working with the FAA. The FAA gave no indication that they intend to limit or prohibit the 787 from flying during the review. Actually, most aviation insiders say that this is a tempest in a teapot, believe it or not. There was some fireworks on Capitol Hill yesterday. Wal-mart apparently received a letter from two influential congressmen in the House of Representatives, both Democrats, Henry Waxman and Elijah Cummings, saying that its CEO, Mike Duke, had found out in 2005 that Walmart's Mexican unit was handing out bribes to local officials in Mexico. That, of course, is illegal. The lawmakers say that the emails contradict earlier claims by Walmart that the executives were unaware of bribes being made by the companies. Apparently, the letters that they released were emails indicating that senior Walmart officials had been informed multiple times beginning in 2005 about bribes being made in the country. Walmart spokespeople said that the letters leave the wrong impression that our public statements are contradicted by the information they released today. Well, about a year ago, this weekend actually, the Costa Concordia capsized off the coast of Italy, and we'll give a little update here. The loss is continuing to eat into the second layer of the International Group's reinsurance program, which was its reinsurer. That group had a second-tier limit that's being eaten away now, about $1.6 billion. According to the Lloyd's List Intelligence, the International Group's excess of loss reinsurance program is a market reinsurance contract that provides for reinsurance claims that exceed $60 million up to $2.1 billion for any one claim. Well, obviously, the Costa Concordia blew through the $60 million. They've already exceeded the first tier, which had a limit of $560 million. The second tier has a limit of about $1.6 billion, which it's probably going to reach. And if that's reached, there's a third layer above that, which has another limit of $2.1 billion. After this, the claim goes into what the contract terms collective overspill protection. Presumably, it will not reach that $2.1 billion limit. But the rumors in Lloyd's say that about 70% of the Costa Concordia loss is expected to be borne by the reinsurance market. Yesterday, French President Francois Hollande, said that France would take a military intervention in Mali to protect the government from an al-qaeda insurgency. Al Jazeera is reporting right now that French Foreign Legion troops have arrived in the Mali capital. The country has been under siege, if you will, by al-Qaeda-led rebels attempting to overthrow it. The French president, exercising the droit souverain of the French presidents in Francophile Western French-speaking Africa, has intervened. The international credit rating agency Moody's has done a sharp turn against the island of Cyprus. That nation, they've downgraded their government bond rating by 3 notches. Down to middle-range junk bond status, CAA3. They did say that they don't believe that there's a chance of insolvency in Cyprus during 2013, so you can breathe easier. At least 29 people have died after a landslide inundated a village in Yan'an province in China. A fire swept through a hotel in the Philippines this morning, killing 7 people. The name of the hotel is the Dryden Hotel. It's in a tourist city of Olongapo. near a former U.S. naval base. And at 12 noon today, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is going to come out with a census of the crop status and the amount of crops that are in storage for distribution to the commodity markets. That's going to be being closely watched to see the true effects of the drought that occurred this summer. Make no mistake about it, that drought remains ongoing. It's persistent. There's no sign of relief in sight for the 4 main wheat-growing states in the United States. Conditions in Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas, which produce about a third of the country's wheat crop, remain unchanged, the worst on record according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Oklahoma has just been bone dry, said a scientist at the Western Regional Climate Center. Kansas, the biggest wheat producer, sees its entire state in severe drought. Oklahoma, over the last 60 days, has only seen a small fraction of typical rainfall. Last year's temperature smashed through 118 years of temperature records, registering a full degree Fahrenheit hotter than normal. Everybody keeps arguing about the fiscal cliff, but meanwhile, we will soon have no food. That's the news for today. Have a pleasant weekend. We'll see you on Monday.